Let's see what we got here. There we are. Better? Yes. I don't know. Let's see what's going on. All right. Okay. Trying to get organized. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I gotta kick that back just a little bit. All right, that's better. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys have had a good day. A lot going on. Obviously, I definitely wanted to talk more about the hurricane with the stream, and we're going to do that here very, very shortly. Before we jump into everything, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, you will be booted out of here. So let's just have a very, very good chat and share information. Anybody down in Florida right now that's dealing with any of this, definitely like to hear your take. JJ, I know you're in Florida. So if you give us some updates, that would be cool as well. So anyway, before we jump into this, I just want to remind everybody, still getting string wins. Okay, strong. All right. Oh, stringer strong. Okay, gotcha. Strong wins. All right. So before we get into this, I just want to remind you. I got a message today from one of my subscribers from Puerto Rico, and they just after a week just got power back on and water. So the last hurricane that they dealt with, some places there didn't have power or water for quite a while, and I'm sure that'll be the same case this time with Puerto Rico. But they're doing the best that they possibly can. So, but for the people in Florida, within the first couple of hours, what are you doing? Just relax. Within the first couple of hours of the hurricane hitting, more than 1 million people were already without power. So uh, it's going to be bad because it's basically come in and it's going to go straight up through Florida, right into Georgia, and from Georgia into South Carolina. Obviously, it'll dissipate strength wise as it goes. My cousin in Cape Coral said they got 135-mile-an-hour winds and it was bowing their door. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Ryan Hall was. I saw he was on. He got on way earlier today, and he's still on. So good for him. I mean, it is definitely hello from Florida. Lucky, the hurricane path is no longer going through Inverness. Well, good, Clyde. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you're able to join us for the chat. But guys, these are events again, and as I talked about in my earlier video that I did today, Oscar says a hurricane topped out at 155, 2 miles per hour below a Cat 5. Well, so it's pretty strong, no matter what. But it is amazing to me. Like I said, again, this is why we prep. This is why we get ready. Jen says, I haven't seen the latest track. Is it coming to Southwest Virginia? I believe so, Jen, because I know eventually it'll get up there. I know that they're talking about Saturday, Sunday. West Virginia is going to get hit pretty hard with some heavy rains. Uh, so I've actually believe it. I was actually planning. Tell you now because plans changed. I was planning on heading back after Friday's live stream and heading back down to West Virginia, but it's going to be pretty bad weather. So I'm like, well, might as well stay here for a few more days in New York because if it's raining and crappy down there, there's not much I can do anyway. So I will be, and I don't want to have a whole truck full of stuff and have it all. I'll have a tarp on top of it. Ryan Hall, y'all, has 54,000 watching right now. He was over 100,000 people watching at one point today. I know when I was watching earlier, he was at 75,000 people were watching his channel. So I thought that's quite amazing. You think about it, that's a lot of people just sitting around, watching, what's going on. It's fascinating, especially if you're not in the path of it, you know. 50 to 60-mile-an-hour winds right now, JJ said. Wow, that's pretty intense. Pam in Wonderland said when I was watching, he had 85K. Yeah, but I know he had topped out at over 100K at some point during today. That's what was reported. So a lot of people. A lot of people. He's doing really good, and like I said, and he's got people that are driving around down there, and he's and they're doing all that type of stuff. So we've had here in New York 4 straight day of rain without a hurricane. So it is. I'm sub to Ryan Hall. Thanks, Dad. Oh, cool, man. I'm glad you did it. No, he's like I said, he's very dedicated. He's very good at what he does, and I think it's amazing. Gives real good information, and he's not BSing anybody. Yeah, the storm chasers. He's helping to support the storm chasers, so that's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. But let's see. Asa says Ian is coming to my home Saturday for lunch. Well, there you go. Well, that'll be nice. Nice, have a nice visit, right? Uh, Ryan Hall was at 100K when I was listening. He's great. Yeah, like I said, I really like what he does. He's very, like I said, he's very, very dedicated, and so good for him. I'm glad he's doing well. But and he's given us good information, which I think is awesome as well. And it's not like he's doing a 5 minute blurb. He stays on there for hours and hours and hours when a major event, storm or whatever is coming through. So I mean that's dedication, in my opinion. But 1.6 million without power in Florida right now. Okay, like I had saw earlier, like I said, it was it was over a million at that point, and it's there as it travels up, more people are going to be without power. So I know that a lot of the power companies have people on standby. So once again, I'm going to say this, and I know I've said this before. We need to take our hats off to the line workers, the ones that are running cable and stuff like that. They go down to these places where storms have happened, and they work their butts off sometimes for weeks, long days, trying to restore power for people. It's downgraded to a Cat 3 now. Okay, but so the linemen that are out there stringing the wire and getting people back online, let's take a moment. Let's take our hats off for them, because they, and people are going to say on here, and I know some people, oh well, they get paid really well to do that, blah blah blah, which is true. Okay, number one, it's a very dangerous job, very dangerous job. Number two, they're away from their families for long periods of times when these events go on. Okay, several trucks went there from Oklahoma. Oh yeah, I'm sure from all up here in the north too. Um, they all headed down there. So, but those guys are, they work their butts off and they earned that money. And again, I want you guys to think about it. I mean, same thing for long haul truckers. Now, much more dangerous being a lineman, but these are people that over the road truckers, they're away from home for 3 weeks at a time, and then they come home for like 3 or 4 days, and then they're back out on the road again. They're away from their families for long periods of times. And I'm going to tell you what, as a father, I put in some hours back in the day. I'm not going to, I did my time, if you will, but at least I got to see my kids every night. I got to come home at night and make sure they had their baths and they had a good meal, and tuck them in and kiss them goodnight every night. A lot of people don't get to do that, so I want people to realize that, uh, and have respect for people that are doing that. I know some people, they put their nose down to other people because they actually work hard for a living, but it's tough. I've got a friend in Puerto Gordo, and she's terrified. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it can't be a whole lot of fun. So, but anyway, I just, like I said, real quickly, I wanted to give my respect for the line workers, because, like I said, very very tough job, not easy. They sacrifice a ton, and if you have a job where you have to wear such heavy duty protective gear so that you don't get electrocuted, I want you to think about that. You know, so I wouldn't be a lineman. Do you realize what they have to do in those swampy areas? I absolutely have no idea. But again, this is a heavy duty storm. It's coming straight up through Florida into Georgia next, then South Carolina. and and then it'll just keep moving up. And obviously, as it continues to move up, it's going to be less and less strength to the storm, but still causing a tremendous amount of damage, and people are going to be without power for a while. And it's like I said, not fun at any time of the year to not have power, but again, and I'm not saying this like ha ha ha, look what we've done, preppers and off gridders, but we're the ones that are ready for these type of situations. Most people, again, are not. And what blows me away, always will, and I'll just because I know I repeat myself with a lot of things, but what blows me away, this event will happen. It'll affect a lot of people, and a lot of people go, oh, you know what? We need to be better. We need to be better prepared next time. We should do this or we should do that. And the storm goes off, and the power will get turned back on, and they just go right back to doing the same thing they always did and do nothing to be prepared for the next time. Now, I will say this, there are people out there that will get through this event and they will realize how underprepared they were, and they will do something about it next time. So that part of it is a good aspect of it. For those of us that are preppers that are going through, that are down there in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, and are dealing with this, and if you guys are going to deal with power outages and stuff like that, this is an opportunity for you to find out where you're strong in your preps, where you're weak in your preps, what you need to do different. Take it as a teaching exercise. That's what I always looked at. Any event that happens, it's always a teaching exercise to me. So the more that we can learn from whatever the event may be, it helps us to be better prepared the next time. That's as preppers. Like I said again, some people are never, ever, ever going to do one thing to help themselves. They're never going to do it. So, made one of my sisters install hurricane shutters on her house. That's very smart. Very very smart. To me, and again, um, I think I almost moved to Florida twice, and I got no experience with hurricanes. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I love Florida to visit. It's a beautiful state. It's a lot of fun. It's beautiful beaches and the whole 9 yards. I got to have my mountains. I got to have my trees. I can't do flat, flat, flat all the time. I just can't. But I think West Virginia is supposed to get rain from it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, I think Saturday, Sunday is the rains are going to be coming in Sierra into West Virginia. So, like I said, initially I was going to head out of here Friday night after my live stream, and then when I saw that we're looking at a ton of rain Saturday and Sunday, I'm like, well, I'll just wait, and I'll head back at some point next week. So, but yeah, it just again, it's like I said, Florida's awesome to visit. I wouldn't want to live there. Like I said, too flat for me, no trees. I like my mountains. I like my woods. And I'm not talking pine trees or not pine trees. I mean palm trees. I just I'll stay in my mountains. I like my mountains. Higher the elevation, the better. So, um, you know, but yeah, it's just it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Yeah, most of Florida is below sea level or just above. Yeah, I think the highest point in Florida is about 400 feet above sea level, the entire state. The highest point is only 400 feet above sea level. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Those of us in the north say we shovel snow, at least we don't have hurricanes. Well, you know what? And that's for a long time, I looked at it that way too. I'll hunker down if I have to, ride out whatever for as long as I have to. If I can't get out, that being in New York, then we just stay tight at home and do what we got to do. That's. But again, we don't have to worry about everything being destroyed. There's obviously with blizzards and stuff like that. There's always going to be power outages and stuff like that. But again, if you're ready for that, it's not that big of a deal. You know. But down there, when you're talking about major destruction, with flooding and the winds, and we're not talking about, like I said, little winds. We're talking, 155 mile an hour winds. I mean, that's going to do some serious damage. It's going to uproot trees. It's going to, destroy homes, flip cars, all that type of stuff. So not my idea of a good time, but Melbourne is 33.3 feet above sea level. Wow. Yeah, that's not much. That is not much. You can take the girl out of the mountains, but you can't take the mountains out of the girl. I'm going to tell you what. I'm a country boy. I grew up in the woods. Love being in the woods, and so it took me a while as an adult. I had to do my time in the cities and live in the chaos, if you will. Lived in suburbia after that, and I just I wanted to be back out in the country. And so, I made my first step here to the homestead where we're at in New York, which is a beautiful area. It really is. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. But it's in New York. So, with the new homestead, had to spend 3 months in front of a loader clearing roads after Hurricane Andrew, 7 days a week for 3 months. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Good money. I'll bet real good money, but a lot of work and 7 days a week. I can imagine. You know, Fort Worth is 653 feet above sea level. Yeah, then in Texas. Yeah, and think about that where that is, and the highest point in Florida is only 400 feet. So, like I said, where I'm at, if it starts flooding in my meadow, the lower or upper meadow, I need the ark because that's how high the water is. It would be unbelievable for it to be that bad down there. So, very fortunate. Love the area that I'm in down there. Oh, let's see. Well, it's true, Pam. I mean, that's why I picked where I picked. Oh, I was in the military at the time, Ed, so the pay wasn't good. Yeah, that sucks. That's even worse. That's even worse. Yeah, because they don't care. Yeah, they will work you, work you, work you there. That would suck. That's even worse. The winds on the other side of the eye come from the opposite direction, tear stuff up fast and hard. Wow, Pam. Yeah, like I said, it's my thoughts are with everybody down in that area dealing with the brunt of the storm right now, and the people that are going to have to deal with the aftermath of it is, if you need the ark in West Virginia, then most of the U.S. is probably underwater. Exactly, exactly. So, but not fun, not fun. But again, like I said, let's just keep everybody in our thoughts. Those of you that pray, please pray for the people down there, that everybody is safe, that there's no loss of life. Things can be replaced, lives cannot be replaced. So I'm hoping that there's no loss of life with this, and that people prepared accordingly, or evacuated accordingly. Let's hope. Let's hope. So, but no, not a good time. Not a good time at all. So it's just unfortunately it is what it is. So we got 383 in the chat. We're at 138 on the thumbs ups, guys. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. It really does make a difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I do appreciate it for that reason. Also, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. That would be bad because Delilah doesn't like to swim. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of cats that like water. Do not know a whole lot of cats that like water. The weatherman said the dreaded F word for tomorrow night. Yeah, flooding. Yes, unfortunately, unfortunately. But yes, so that's So I'm glad that some of my viewers that are in Florida, you guys are in the chat and that you're doing okay and you're riding it out, which is good. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be without power when this thing is done, and there's going to be a lot of damage. It's going to cost probably billions to fix everything, unfortunately. And but again, as I talked about in my earlier when I did my video earlier, and I do want to reemphasize this here in this chat. The majority of people are, I think, are decent people. I think that we have a small percentage of people that are scumbags that are going to loot and try to steal everything that's not nailed down. There's always going to be those type of people. But I think for the most part, people will come together. They'll work together. They'll try to help each other out. They'll look after their elderly neighbors that that don't have somebody there to watch out for them. Clyde said it passed through where he's at already, and so I'm glad that him and his wife are okay because I've met them. They're really decent people. I met Clyde and his wife last year at Pinball's get together. So they're really, really decent folks, and they had driven up from Florida. So, but I have my M12 AK ready for any looters. Well, and you should. You should. It's sad that it has to be that way, but that's the reality of today. But again, I think that we have lost contact with family in Fort Myers, hearing that the cell towers aren't out, are not out. Okay. Well, I'm sure things are bad down there, so they just probably are. Hopefully, they're just hunkering down 80K man, and they're going to be okay. I'm sure they'll call as soon as they can to let you guys know that they're safe. But I think that the most part, people look out for each other. They're going to try to help each other out, and I think that that's important. That we should all try to do that, especially in these type of events, because these are very teachable moments that we can help people. You know, I think that that is you have to try to help people in these type of situations. Sheriff departments here are actually encouraging people to arm themselves against looters here. Wow, well there you go. Well, and unfortunately, it is the day and age that we have to be able to protect ourselves from stupid people. That is just that is a reality. People are going to take these type of situations, some, not all, and they're going to try to use it to their advantage to do what they want to do, meaning steal and loot and all those type of stuff. But again, I do believe that most people, at heart, are decent people, and they're going to watch out. Like I said, if like up here, I have a few neighbors that are older, and so we always try to, if something is going on, we try to make sure that they're okay. And down in West Virginia, if something happens, I'll do the same thing down there. People down there are pretty reliant, pretty self-reliant. They're pretty awesome. People just in general watch out for each other. So I like that aspect of it. But again, this is a great opportunity for a test to see what works, to see what doesn't work. Again, and I would encourage you guys. West Virginia is always locked and loaded. Yeah, that's yeah, yeah, yeah. West Virginia is not a place where you want to go and play games. Let's just put it like that. Jen Boyle says, Ed, I'm getting flack for cleaning out my preps and donating food. Why would you? If that's what you decide to do, that is your choice. Why would you get flack for that? You can do whatever you want to do. It's your stuff. So you shouldn't be getting flack for that. My son is in Winter Haven. Winds are picking up. Well, hopefully everything's going to be okay and that they'll be fine. You got to always think positively. So lots of elderly in Florida. Exactly. Exactly. It's called the migration of the blue hair. That's what I always used to like to call it. Because the little old lady, when they get their perms and their hair's white, they get like a bluish tint. And when it gets cold in the north, they go south. So we call that the migration of the blue hair. Helping my community and nothing goes bad. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. But again, these, like I said, these are great teaching opportunities as well. If let's put it like this: out of 100 people, if we could wake up five of them, five families, to get them to start prepping, to not be victims, to help themselves, using these type of an event to say this is why you need to get ready. You know, I donate food to people who need it. Usually, it's getting close to expiration. but still in date. Well, there you go. And it really doesn't expire, Sonia. So you know it's bad when the Waffle House closes down. Oh my goodness, that's funny. An elderly man was found drowned in 5 foot of water. He had dementia and wandered out, and the storm happened in Martin County. Well, it's sorry to hear that. That's not good. Yeah, probably very, very confused. Very sad. Oh my God, Viking prepper, you're terrible. He said, "Was it Biden?" Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Good. I like it. I like it. I like the humor, but it's bad. Elaine said, "Born and raised here, used to it, adapt and overcome." Well, of course, if you're there and that's where you live, again, we all live in different areas of the country. We all have different challenges because of the areas of the country that we live in. If you're in Florida, right, you're going to realize that you're probably got to deal with hurricanes. It's just part of what you have to deal with. If you live in California, you're going to probably have to deal with wildfires. You're going to have to deal with mudslides, and those type of things. If you're in the Northeast, you're probably going to have to deal with, blizzards and those type of things. It really, if you live near the Mississippi River, there's a good chance that in your lifetime, if you live near the Mississippi River and it's a very long river, that you're going to deal with some kind of flooding. So, those are things, if depending on where you live, you need to be prepared for that and look at where you're at, look at your elevation and take that all into account when you're looking to buy a piece of property wherever you are and you want to plan accordingly. It just, to me, I know it's something that doesn't happen anymore. It's just common sense. It's common sense. Look at where you're at. If I'm down by the river and I got this nice piece of property and I'm 30 feet from the river, the chances are in my lifetime that at some point there will be flooding and I will be underwater. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's just me, and so like I said, that's why, yeah, what's common sense? Common sense isn't so common anymore. Yeah, exactly. Okie Forge, he said it at the same time I did. I like that. Yeah, and that's it. Common sense is not so common anymore. Very sad, but true. you know Walmart and Public closed the doors. There was no food on the shelves. Well, I believe that. I absolutely believe that. Oh, that was last year, Randy Romines. He did that last year. Yes, that was the moronic statement from him last year. So, um, Biden had said last year, the best way to prepare for hurricane season is to get this. It just, that was last year. It wasn't this year. But yeah. And what do you expect? Anything different? I mean, why would you get food and water and make sure you had plenty of plywood to board up your windows and all that type of thing? Why would you do that? No, no, get this, and that'll be the best thing you can do. Unbelievable. Biden today was asking if a dead woman was in the White House. Yeah, I saw that. Pam in Wonderland, our government used loosely should focus on infrastructure. All power lines nationwide should be buried, but we do not take. Oh, hold on, but no, we take care of gay rights in other countries that throw them off buildings. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Um, yeah, it's I agree that we need to be taking care of our own country and getting things. You can't always, like Florida. You're gonna have a really difficult time putting anything underground because the water table is so high. But there's other things that they can do to prepare for that, and make things safer. Thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that, and thank you for the statement as well. And yes, I don't think that we should be supporting countries that the way that they deal with somebody that they find out is gay is to throw them off the roof. I don't think that that is the correct answer to deal with that type of situation. You know, so unfortunate, but very, very true. But yeah, we do need to take care of our own country. We do need to work on our infrastructure here, and where things can be buried underground, they should be. I think that should be a no-brainer. But you know, unfortunately, it is what it is. So it's what we got to continue to deal with, and it's not. I don't, and I really don't see anything changing. You know, the amount of money that is wasted with our government. You know, you're not my master. Don't be racist. As part of their religion. He's laughing. He's making a joke. Uh, some sick people in the world. You know, yeah, and well, don't get me started. Don't get me started. But I could say a few things, but I'm gonna refrain. I'm gonna be good for once, right? I'm not always good, but I try to be respectful. But yeah. But anyway, you look at working on projects. All right. If you have a project that you're working on for your home or wherever you're at, it costs money. It's not cheap. So you're trying to do things cost effectively, but also do a good enough job to get the job done right so that you don't have to keep going back and doing it over and over again. I'm going to tell you what, I'm a big believer is pay once, cry once. Go ahead and do it right the first time because then you don't have to do it again. I have done that. I've dealt with that. You guys, anybody that's watched this channel knows if you look at the progression of even my solar system, I went from 12 volt to 24 volt. Well, first I went from marine deep cycle batteries, and then I went to the L16Es, and now I'm using the lithium ions. My superpowers that I have common sense. Awesome. Yeah. Well, and that's a good thing. That is a good thing. And thank you so much for the donation. I do appreciate that as well. But yeah, there's a lot of us out there that actually do think, which I think is fairly uncommon now, unfortunately. But if we just keep plugging along, I think we're going to be okay. That's all we can do. It's all we can try to do, I should say. But relief should be sent after the event. We are praying for Ukraine's, or we are paying for Ukraine's war. Yeah, that's another bone of contention that I have. I don't like. I have the Trojan T 105 6-volt batteries. Yeah, that's I had those as well. That's what I had, the lead acid 80K man. Those are the lead acid batteries. I actually still have those. Actually, just so you guys know, Joe from St. Bernard Acres is going to buy my lead acid batteries that I have. His son wants them. So when I come back to New York next month, he's going to come up here and they're going to pick up those batteries. They are very, very heavy, very, very heavy. They're like 100 pounds a piece. They are no joke. They are absolutely no joke. So, but it would, if that's something that can help them out, then that's awesome. But, so like I said, I've made my progression and I've learned, and that's why when I went to West Virginia, and I've told you guys this before, I said, when I go to West Virginia, I'm setting up a 48 volt system and doing it right from the get go. And that's exactly what I've done. And it's worked out really, really well. It's been awesome. It has been awesome. 80K man says mine are 62 pounds each. Yeah, the ones that I have, it's no, they're there. It's the L16Es is what I have, the Trojan, the L16Es. And so, yeah, those are 100 pounds a piece. Like I said, they are no joke. My problem is to get my kids to take things seriously. They finally are noticing things. Well, that's good, Kathleen. I'm glad to hear that. And the thing is, it's if you point out obvious things, and so what is the wind rating on my solar panels? I have absolutely no idea, JJ. No idea. We've had some pretty strong winds. So before we put Becky's building in behind the solar panels, okay, I had a couple of windstorms that came through here. That those panels, they're on the post. They're on the heavy post out there, and they were rocking just like this with the wind. It was crazy to watch it. Ever since we have, and so the thought process with putting Becky's building where we put it was twofold. Number one, it offers her shade from the panels in the summertime, so it's going to keep her house cooler, but it's also a wind block for the solar panels. So the wind can't blow them. They haven't blown like that ever since. Now, what I did do is I reconcreted them down in the ground much, much stronger, number one. But then with having Becky's house there, it makes all the difference in the world. Now, my panels in West Virginia are pretty low to the ground, as you guys have seen down there. And that was done just because of the location that I'm at, and it's the best angle to keep them at year round. So no matter what, and I get, my location down there, I get sun from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. Uh, Ed, did you remove a few solar panels? Looks like a few empty slots on the end. What we did, the 300-watt panels that were on the end, actually belonged to Brian, my electrician, and he was running them over to his camper that he had over on the other side of the property. And when we were going to sell the property, because that was the original plan, was to sell this property up here, he had come up, took those panels off, and took that camper out of here. So now that we're obviously not selling the property, it was that those three panels that were on the end were, like I said, they weren't hooked up to my system. They were hooked up to his, and so that's what they were used for, and that's why we have that empty slot on the end. But yeah, I'm sure you're not the only one that noticed that, but that's the first time somebody's asked that question. 80 came in, so good observation. So all right, what do we got? German Shepherd. I need pep radio show. I'm gonna tell you what, guys. If you said to me what kind of dog should I get, uh, two of the smartest breeds out there, are German Shepherds and Labs. Labs are amazingly smart. Now, Labs are not intimidating. People are not afraid of Labs, but I will guarantee you this: they are afraid of German Shepherds. German Shepherds are a great dog to have. I mean, you guys see how Hella is with me. I mean, that dog is as loyal as the day is long. Ed, you said something when he took the panels down um, about why. Oh, okay. I probably did. I probably did. Oh, let me tell Heather to come in and say hi. Hold on a second. All right, I just shot her a text. So, but no, I like I said, and that's one of the reasons why I want to breed Hella, because I want to have, you know, at least two of her pups. And you guys be like, you're a nut. You got too many animals. But I'm going to have animals up here, and I'm going to have animals down in West Virginia as well. So, the Hella will go back and forth with me forever. The other dogs are more, for Heather's protection here, and I know they would protect her, and it's good for her to have them. I didn't want to transplant all the cats from up here because they're older and they've been here forever. And there is Miss Heather.
I have a baby.
And with Stella. Where will you keep your many dogs in West Virginia if she has puppies? Blue Line Prepper. That's a great question. As we move forward, we will be building more stuff down there. So my dogs stay in the house, especially at night. Hella's with me inside constantly. So that would be what would happen. Stella's getting big. She's not really a big cat.
Not really.
No.
She's a little baby. This is where her butt ends. So you can see that she's really tiny still.
Yeah.
She looks very angry to be on
She
camera.
does. She doesn't look happy.
Well, I think the light is like right in her face.
And
I also woke her up from the nap.
well, there you go.
Look at that tail going.
Yeah, that tail is kicking. She's like, I don't want to be here. This is not what I want to do.
She's doing very good though.
Yeah. I won't hold her then. Look at her. Look, I know, poor baby.
She's
I
like,
know.
what the heck? She's like, I don't even want to look.
Yeah, she's a snot.
That's so bad. Here, I'll grab Max.
No, no, don't grab. I want to. No, I'll just show him. I'll just show him. All right. So there's Max and there's Luz. They're chilling. You don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, he's chill. He'd go right into bed.
Probably. So. Oh, JJ's showing up your Etsy account. Do you want to talk about your Etsy account real quick?
Not really.
Not really.
No, I just haven't had a lot of time to work on stuff, so I've not been putting anything up.
Do you have stuff up there already?
Like 2 things up there.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I don't have a lot.
Okay. Well.
I appreciate that try though. I've just been very absorbed in work.
Yeah, she's been working really good, and she likes what she's doing, and that's a good thing.
She has the same look she did modeling the cat hat. Yes, she did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's just always happy. Always happy. Yes.
And somebody was asking what job I do, and I am a bartender right now in like a kind of small restaurant bar in my town.
Yeah, priorities change. Randy Romine said, yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? This is good for her. It's a social environment. She works during the day. She's not doing the nights, so she's not having to deal with that client,
Lunatics.
the lunatics, that clientele. So she does a lot of the lunch crowd and those type of things, and it's good. And she's doing very well, and she likes it, and her boss likes her. And he what did he tell you? He said a lot of your generation don't want to work.
Once I get a lot of that in general at the bar that people talk about that. It's like it's so hard to hire your generation. Let me walk through everything. But my boss likes me because I'm a very hard worker.
Oh, the Black Hills. Yeah, I when I was out of Sturgis, I'll stand up so you can see it. When I was out at Sturgis last year, uh, one of the many shirts that I got.
Bartender now, Congress in a few years.
There you go. It's right. Hey, if OAC can do it, then you can do it
Or
too.
AOC.
AOC, whatever the lunatic is.
The
I think
dyslexia
she would be way better than
AOC.
AOC. Yes, way better.
Yeah. Yeah, like yesterday I
Billy
had
the Kid Norwood just said you can make a lot of money bartending. Yes, you can.
like yesterday, like usually my Tuesdays are super slow because we get a lot of like a couple people that come in for lunch and that's pretty much it. But I had a group like the moment I opened of like 25 that were coming from a funeral, and so I did really good. By the time they all left at like 1, 2 o'clock, I had made like $100 from them, which is amazing for a Tuesday. Usually I don't nearly get that much.
Right. Yeah.
She's cheating on Ed. Watching more than one person at once. Go to another stream and then back to you.
Uh-oh. Well, that happens. That happens.
A Long Island iced tea, I can do that. Whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah. But so we've actually been talking about possibility next year for Sturgis is trying to get Heather hooked up out there to work during Sturgis, because if she goes out there and bartends for a couple of weeks out there, she could make more money than she could 6 months, here, working. So we'll have to see what happens with that. We'll have to, touch base with them out there and see and go with that. But yeah, I would, that's something we're talking about. We'll see. Let's put it like this. She's going to Sturgis no matter what next year with her dad. 500 a day. I'll bet it would be more than that, 80K man. I bet it would be more than that. Yeah, it's just the money out there it's insanity. And you would be talking about, in a bar that's hopping, 30 barmaids working all at the same time, or bartenders. Yeah, so.
Yes, when some people like it when you remember their drinks. I have a lot of regulars that when they come in, I know exactly what they're drinking, and I just start making it or get it for them. And again, people do like that. People like me. I get a lot of compliments saying, "Oh, you're like the best bartender we've had here." So I'm like, really?
Hope to see you out there when you come out to Sturgis. Yeah, I got no problem with that. I definitely don't mind having a problem meeting people. But
alrighty, well, I just wanted to come in and say hi.
Yes.
Because I was requested.
Yes, you were requested.
Alright, so goodbye everybody. I hope you go enjoyed the Stella sighting.
Yes, I know, even though she was not a happy girl. She was definitely not a happy girl. So anyway, so that is that. And we are almost right at egg count time, so I'm not going to get into anything. Um, we'll do that in just a second. So I'm not going to start anything new. Yep, tips and multiple offers for marriage. You have to glare a lot while she's there. Well, I'll tell you what, like she did 2 years of psychology for her major. And so that gives her an absolute advantage working as a bartender because you're definitely working the psychology angle as a bartender. You're listening to a lot of people. So, all right, let us go ahead and do egg count. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for thick neck? So, I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses. Let you guys get your guesses up here. Hello, girl. What? Huh? That's it. All right, I think we're going to have a first here. We're going to have a first. You're all wrong. Not one person had it right. Nobody had it right today. We had one egg today. One egg. And no, it was not thick neck. So everybody's a loser. No winners tonight. But yeah, it's just, I think it's a combination of a couple things. It's time of year where they start molting. Weather's starting to change. So they start to not lay and they're regrowing feathers. And so that's what molting is for those of you that don't know. And so their energy all goes into growing feathers and they don't lay eggs while they're molting. And I think it's a combination of that, crappy weather, and they're just, it's just that time of year and that's what happens. But so, yeah, 4 straight days of rain, and that's what are you going to do? So I think that's a first. It's a first that nobody got it right. So, well, congratulations. You're all a bunch of losers. No, I'm like, only kidding. You guys are awesome. You just didn't get a good guess in today. So, anyway, but I saw a 3 and 2, and I'm like, come on, somebody. Not happening. So, good night, Angela. I hope you have a good night. She says she's bowing out a little early tonight. Nobody wants to work, including my chickens. That's right. Lazy chickens. You all won nothing equally. There you go. So, but yeah, how long have we been doing egg count? I got to remember how long we've been doing that. I've had the chickens. God, I think I've had the chickens for like 5 years now here, something like that. About 5 years. So that's, like I said, that's the first time that nobody's ever got the guess right. Well, I guess there's a first for everything, right? And don't feel bad because Monday, the egg count on Monday was one, and yesterday we had 5 eggs yesterday. So what are you going to do? And with the small number of people, I let them get multiple guesses. It took 3 guesses on the Monday night stream to get the guess right. So you don't feel alone. So, but yep. So yeah, it's like I said, it's that time of year. Uh, Anyone else notice the other dogs disappeared? What are you talking about? No, you don't have to worry about that, D. Sawyer. The other dogs haven't disappeared. They're still here. I don't know what the person's talking about. The other dogs are still here. Caesar, Pandora, come here, Caesar. Come here. Oh, that's Pandora. Okay, come here, baby. Oh, up here. Oh my God, the disappeared dog. There she is. You disappeared. I don't know where you went. People are morons. They're not gone. If anybody watches any of my videos during the day, they see all these dogs in the run if they're out in the run. So, yeah, proof of life. That's right. Now, the ransom for this dog, what is your ransom? Does anybody want a lunatic? Huh? You think anybody wants you because you're crazy? She was the runt of the litter, and she was the smartest dog of all the dogs, and she's got a mind of her own. But you're a good girl, are you? All right. Okay. Down you go. And Hella's like, wait, what about me? All right. No, you already climbed up on me. You're all right. They're good pups. Very, very good animals. And, that's very fortunate that they're just, well, you know what? Here's the weird concept. Weird concept. When you spend time with your animals and you do things with your animals and you treat your animals the right way, it's amazing how loyal they can be, especially dogs. Cats are just, they allow you to be in their domain. That's what cats do. Dogs, if you treat your dogs right, you know, they will definitely be good to you. So Florida is getting hammered. Yep, voice of the people. We were talking about that obviously earlier. I wonder how many people will end up being without power before this whole thing is over with. I'm sure quite a few. Those guys coming down, they're probably going to have to, work their way down to help with the power. I'm sure Florida's going to get it the worst though. The other dogs, golden retrievers. What the other ones are, they're a combination of collie. So they're half collie, and then they're half. I think they might be half shepherd as well, because the father, they believe we kind of believe we know who the father was, and so they look more collie-ish than anything else. Their mother is Greg and Chris's dog, Son, and she's a beautiful dog. But they both, Caesar and Pandora, were the two of the litter that looked exactly alike. I mean, they had this. Obviously, they can tell they're brother and sister, and they're really just they got that darker color, and they were the only two that had that, and so that's. I'm glad we got them both. They've both been great dogs. Caesar's just the most chill dog you ever wanted to see. Except about 2 weeks without power. Pam Sloan said, "Yeah, it could be a while. Could be a while down there with, like I said again, as I said earlier in the stream, Puerto Rico just got after a week, and that's a lot smaller island. It's not as many people. They just got power and water back online. So 2 million people without power right now. Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and we are waiting for the storm to hit later tonight around 2 a.m. Well, good luck, survival, Julia. I hope everything works out for you guys. Hopefully, by the time it gets to you guys, it won't be as bad. But I know it's down to a Cat 3 right now. So, but any of those, high winds, lots of rain, there's going to be a lot of damage being done. And a lot of people are going to be suffering, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Hope King says they are beautiful dogs. Well, thank you, Hope. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm kind of partial to them myself. I like my dogs. And yes, I will very easily admit that Hella is my favorite. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. So, I mean, I started bringing her back and forth with me because she just, when I went down in April and was down there for 3 weeks, and then I came back, she had lost weight. She was depressed. Heather was like, she would sit at the door waiting for me. And so, when a dog connects to you like that, downgraded to a cat 3 and expected to be downgraded to a cat 2 before it gets to Jacksonville. Okay, JJ, thanks. But when that dog makes that connection with you like that, I mean, you're their human being. You are their entire world. And especially with shepherds, that connection is very, very strong. And so that's why, I started just bringing her with me. And I'm glad I have. I mean, she's been great company to have. She's just such a good dog, and our connection is even more. I can honestly say I've had animals my whole life, and I have never had a connection like I have with this dog. And I like I said, I love Caesar and Pandora as well. They're good dogs, but there's just it's a weird connection with this dog. I mean, it's just she's something. So yeah, category 3 is still bad. Yeah, that's not any good. Yeah, we're actually gonna go. So Billy Kid Norwood just said, I can't wait to see the kittens down there, with you, too, Ed. We're gonna go look at the kittens on Saturday. I don't even think I told Heather yet. I was talking with Dennis and the lady that has the kittens. We're gonna go see the kittens on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think that'll be cool. And take film of them. What I might do is I might take some pictures and then I'll post that up on Instagram. And I have not been posting on Instagram very much. Hell is a great dog for protecting you on your trips back and forth. Oh, that dog is like so loyal. That dog would give her life for me, and I know that in a second. Randy Romines, I'll try to post it on Facebook as well. So the kittens right now, they're like a week old, so their eyes had just started opening. So it's going to be at least another like 7 weeks. So probably not on my next trip up, but the one after that is when I would be getting them, you know, to bring them back down. I think we'll have to see. So, uh, 80K man, yes, getting the same report in the military news. Russia and Poland both blaming the U.S. for sabotage of the oil pipelines. Well, so let's talk about that for a second. You had Biden a year ago make a threat about that pipeline, right? And I'm not saying who did it. I'm not speculating of who did it or any of those type of things. That's not my place to do that. I don't have that information. Uh, but it is very fishy that there was a U.S. ship in the area. Okay, right? That's what there's been talk about, that there was a Hella rides in the back seat. She rides in the back seat, but so it's very suspicious, you know. But it not a good situation. If it was sabotage that was done to the pipeline, that's just not a good thing. Had to be a sub too deep for divers. Yeah, I have no idea, no idea. So like I said, I don't make claims that if it was this or that or the other thing. A depth charge would absolutely do the trick as well, just so you guys know. And a depth charge might actually be able to be detected on the Richter scale, right? Because they said it looked like it was a 2.3 earthquake, and so you just don't know, you know. I wouldn't. Nothing would surprise me, to be honest with you. Uh, it almost seems, and I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just saying it almost seems like they want to get us into something. They want to get us into something. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. Hoping that's not the case, but you never know. You just don't know. Randy Roma is just waiting for Biden to blame Trump. Oh my God. Depth charge would be noticed via satellite. Well, I'm all I'm doing is speculating here. I don't know, how the sabotage was done, or if it was sabotage at all, right? The U.S. wouldn't do it because it would hurt Germany. Well, Germany's already hurting, Sonia. So, um, yeah, I no idea. Yeah, Billy the Kid Norwood said war makes money, lots of money for the military industrial complex. Just saying, and war is good for the economy. But I think that we as Americans, for the most part, have had enough of that. I would hope that we don't want war. We don't want to keep going and fighting for nothing and having our young men and women die for nothing. That's my take on it. I'm sure that people will have a different spin uh, on that. So that's just kind of where I'm at with that. I don't like seeing our young people thrown away like fodder. Coming back maimed and crippled, and even the ones that come back whole physically never come back whole mentally. So I mean, there's a reason why we have 22 veterans commit suicide every day, right? Officially downgraded to a Cat 2 a few minutes ago. Okay, thank you for the update, JJ. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to stay on track. Let me just find my folder here. Look at this. It's crazy. JJ didn't even have to remind me. Actually, doing it on my own for once. It happens. I get off track. I'll be honest with you. I come from a military family and I'm sick of this mess. I am too. If they would let us do what we need to do, wars would be over very, very quickly. We have see this is what kills me. This and as a veteran, this is what kills me. And we're gonna do shout outs here in just a second. We have the technology, we have the ability to go in, strategically wipe out scumbags in a heartbeat. But that doesn't make the system a ton of money. So they want to drag these wars out like they've done for years and years and years and years and years because it makes them more money in the long run. You look at the trillions that we put into Iraq, the trillions that we have spent in Afghanistan. So, and here's the other part that kills me. And this is, if I go into a country, I'm the president of the United States, right? And I go into a country and I destroy that country, they're getting rubble back. I'm not going in and then rebuilding their system. That's what we do. We destroy it, we go back in and we rebuild it. No, they'd go live back to living in stone huts as far as I cared. You know, you want to be if the way I ran things, a lot of these wars would be over really quickly, and there'd be nobody attacking the United States of America because I would make it such a horrific thing because the repercussions of you attacking my country, you would never do it. Okay, and that's it. Like if anybody saw Swordfish, the movie Swordfish, who? So real quick, and we're gonna do shout outs in just a second. Quick question: who has seen the movie Swordfish? Anybody seen the movie Swordfish? Give you guys a minute. No, yeah. Hugh Jackman was in Swordfish. Yep, yep. John Travolta was in there as well. Some yes, some no. Well, I like the concept of Swordfish. I like what he was going for. Yeah. And John Travolta was in it. You also had Halle Berry was in it. Yummy. Sorry, but great movie. And I love the concept, and that's how we should roll. Period. End of story. That's my thing. All right. So let's go ahead now. Now that I've got off track once again, we do shout outs. Start out with Icky Can up in Canada. I would actually ask you to please go and support him. We have Angry Prepper Jason in New York City. Love Jason, good guy. Definitely go and support him as well. Alaska Prepper with Rudy, another really good guy. Definitely show him some love and support. Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two separate channels, same guy. Really good information with his. Watching him build up in Canada is amazing. North Shore Preparedness as well. And I know he's been spending time back and forth from the hospital, so let's show him some love as well. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man, who's in the chat tonight, up in the Adirondacks. Definitely go show him some love. You have Bizza Rizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Then you have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. And we have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star with Cody. There's Red Poppy Ranch, Survival Lily, Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota, a nice young couple. Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team, two separate channels, really good people. I definitely think we should be supporting them as well. A lot of good information with them. You have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper 1, Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy, another really good channel, a lot of really good information with them as well. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama, the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, very good channel. Camping with Steve Wallace up in Canada as well. You have Monkey Works. There is the Needy Homesteader, a lot of good information there. Boss of the Swamp. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Love Diamond, very intelligent guy. I highly recommend you go check out his channel. Again, guys, if you go check out these channels, just tell them Prepper Nurse One sent me over, and then they'll get an idea of where, you heard it on a shout out. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There's City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer. You have Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear over in the Canary Islands in La Palma. Let's see. We have Mary Greeley News giving you all the updates with Yellowstone and the earthquakes and everything going on there. You have Adapt 2030. There's Malachi's Corner. You have Ice Age Farmer. Ryan Hall, y'all, for the weather. And a lot of you, we talked about that earlier. A lot of you have been over there checking him out. You have Russell Brand. Love Russell Brand as well. He makes you think, and that's what I think is a good thing. Deep South Homestead, The Outsider. There's The Fit Farmer. Simple Life Reclaimed. Townsend's. You have The Prepared Mind out in California. Pinball Preparedness in Tennessee. You have East Tennessee Preparedness. The Economic Ninja. And Little House Off Gritty. And they are also in Tennessee. A lot of good information out there, a lot of good channels. I think we should really be supporting each other. I think it's a good thing to do. And so that's why I do these shout outs. All right. So, and if there's somebody that you like, like I said, I know some people are throwing other channels that they like in the chat, which is fine. But I try to limit it because otherwise I could go on and on and on and on and on. But a lot of good channels, a lot of good information. I think it's good to look at different people's perspectives. I think that's really healthy. And different parts of the country, people look at things differently. That's a matter of fact, So definitely, let's continue to support each other. So really quickly, is there any birthdays, any anniversaries going on today? So for today's date, any birthdays or anniversaries? So I'm just going to look and see if we got any of those. So give you a shout out if it's your birthday or your anniversary. I may have said this joke before, but I will say it again. And you don't have to answer in the comments because my grandson turned 20 today. Okie Forge. Well, tell your grandson that Prepper Nurse One said happy birthday. So, why do men die first when they're married? Right? Why do men die first? Women, a lot of older women, women are still around. The men all die. Why is that? Because the men die in self-defense. So that's a joke. So take it as a joke, please. Is Ice Age Farmer still making YouTube videos? That I don't know, Farmer Frank. Judy Chappie says my grandson is 24 today. Well, happy birthday to him. My anniversary was Monday, 13 years. Well, happy anniversary, Lady Kickboxer. So I was going to say they get nagged to death. No, they die in self-defense. It's the only way out. It's the only way they can see to get out of that marriage. Again, a joke. So relax. Anybody don't get all pent up on me. Don't get them all twisted, and that's your underpants. Don't get them all twisted. Relax. Take it for what it is. All right. All right. So we are legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? Ipsy says, "Oh, I'm twisted." That's funny. Melbourne, Australia. Philip, how you doing today? We have Dayton, Ohio in the house. Waterloo, New York. Nowhere, Oklahoma. Inverness, Florida with Clyde. Uh, Erin, Tennessee. Northern Georgia. Somerset, Pennsylvania. Auburn, California. West Virginia's in the house. Michigan. Long Island, New York. Connecticut. Indiana. Back home in West Virginia, Betty said. Very nice. BC, Canada. We have Georgia's in the house. Beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds. Somewhere in the Adirondacks for the 80K man. Birdsboro, Pennsylvania. Edgewater, Florida. East Central Illinois. Fort Worth, Texas. Rolling Meadows, Illinois. West Virginia again. The Adirondacks once again. Northern California. Verone, BC, Canada. Upstate New York. Nebraska's in the house. Cape Cod. We have Vancouver Island in Canada. Western New York, Long Island, New York, Corey, Pennsylvania, Bay of Islands, Newfoundland, Canada, very nice. Southwest Iowa, Tioga County, New York, very nice. Haverly, Alabama's in the house. We have 35 miles north of the Mississippi River, very nice. Canton, Ohio, Southern Indiana, Stinky, New Jersey, that's very nice. I'm not a big fan of New Jersey, I will be honest. Las Vegas, we have Las Vegas, Nevada again, two people in a row there. Lake East, Ohio, Melbourne, Florida, Central California, Southeast Oklahoma, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, South Carolina's in the house, Georgia in the mountains, very nice. I've been in the mountains in Georgia, it's beautiful down there. East Dundee, Illinois, Orlando, Florida right now, Tiffany. Well, good luck. Keep your head down. Campbell, Missouri. So, yeah, the storm is hitting us, Tiffany, saying, yep, that's what I'm saying. Keep your head down. Be safe. That is the important thing. We have the mountains of North Carolina. Probably some of the most beautiful mountains that I have seen was up in Asheville, North Carolina. Absolutely gorgeous up there. Beautiful, beautiful area. My 34th year's divorce anniversary was last week. I congratulate myself. Vicky Burke. Congratulations. That's very nice. I got to tell you, I'll tell you this real quick. And this was to me, and I did it probably the first 8 years in a row. Okay. So my ex and I have been apart. It'll be 11 years already in December. And so the first 8 years on the anniversary date when she left, I would call her up that day and wish her happy leave anniversary. I did it. I did it for 8 years in a row, and then finally I said, you know what, I gotta let it go. Gotta let it go, and so I did. I haven't done it since. So why? You know what I mean? Yeah. When somebody leaves you 7 days before Christmas and takes your kids with them, you could understand a little bit of bitterness with that. So, but anyway, that's water under the bridge at this point. I'm going to give you guys the best advice, and I swear to you, it works so well. Best advice. The very best revenge. Now, listen to me on this one. The very best revenge you can have against an ex, you can have against somebody that did you wrong, somebody that fired you, or whatever the case may be. The very best revenge that you can get is to live well and be happy, because they cannot stand it if you have gone on with your life and are happy and you're doing well. Drives them nuts. Aaron Judge just hit his 61st right now. Oh, yes. Thank you, JJ. That's about freaking time. Somebody finally actually pitched to him. Hold on. Now you guys are making me go to the Yankee channel real quick. Hold on. You're going to have to hold on a second. Sorry. Priorities. Nice. Awesome. So hopefully, go back to New York. They got 3 games set in New York. Hopefully, he breaks the record in New York. So that's awesome. That is awesome. I can't believe they finally pitched to him. Man, that is so cool. Thank you, JJ, for letting me know that. That's awesome. Outstanding player, decent human being, says all the right things. Team player, gotta love a team player. That's just my take on it. So I live better than my ex-husband. I was able to have my own place, and my ex wasn't. And you know what? It's and you don't have to. And here's the best part, guys. You don't have to rub it in their face. You don't have to say, "Hey, look at me. I'm doing great, and your life still sucks, and you're still spinning your wheels and doing nothing." You don't have to do that. You just got to live your life, and it drives them crazy. It drives them crazy. So, to me, like I said, that is the to me that's the way to do it. If you can just live your life, be happy, you can see it. You can. Now I obviously see my ex because of the kids. Eddie lives with his mom now. He's lived with his mom for the last 3 years. When he turned 18, he moved in with his mom. But you could, but you don't. But you shouldn't. Right? Yeah, you could. You could rub it in there, but it's just live your life and be happy. Here's my thing. I had told her all my dreams of what I wanted to do, living off grid, doing being able to do YouTube full time, all those type of things. And so we went our separate ways, and I continued on that journey, and I was able to do everything that I said I was going to do. And so she's seen that, and so I don't have to say anything. I don't have to. So you should always embrace your mistakes. Give your ex a hug. I'm going to tell you what, JJ. I'm going to take a pass there. It's a nice thought, but no, I don't think that would be, you know. But like I said, it's just if you're happy and they're still spinning their wheels, like I said, that's the best way to go. Be happy, live your life. You know what I mean? And it works. Where's Heather at? She's here. Well, she came in and said hi earlier in the stream. So Mike Jones says, my ex is addicted to meth. I'm sorry, man. I absolutely feel you. Drug addiction is a horrible thing. And, they choose the drugs over everything else. And I know where you're coming from on that. Trust me, I know where you're coming from. So it destroys families. Absolutely destroys families. You're nice and warm. Were you sitting by the fire? Huh? Were you sitting by the fire because your head is nice and warm? So, anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job here in the chat. Thank you guys for what you do. I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, for keeping the chat clean. You are the best. Also, I want to thank all of you guys for being here, supporting the channel. It means a lot to me, and it is very, very cool. And I appreciate that as well. And I love doing these. Love being able to, and I have my ups and downs like anybody else. I have my good days and I have my bad days, but I really do enjoy doing this. So I appreciate all of you. Also, you know, like I said, it means a lot. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we absolutely will be in much, much better shape. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day, Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. Life is so short and is so precious. It should be important to tell the people that you care about every day how you feel. Also remember, let's see what was going on there. Okay, sorry. Also remember STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do in life, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and you stay away from the negativity, you can accomplish anything. And like I said, if you set realistic goals and then set about to making them happen, and before you know it, you're checking those things off, and then you're going to end up having to set new goals. And it's amazing how that works. But I will give advice on that one too. One project at a time. Work on one project, finish it all the way, and then start the next one. If you got your fire or if, your irons in four different fires at the same time, nothing's ever getting done. So try to work on one thing, get it squared away, and then move on to the next one. All right, guys, have a great night. I appreciate you all again, and I will see you all on the next one. Prepper Nurse One out for now.